Happy 2020, everyone. I'm just sitting here breaking my fast with some fruit. Hi, everybody. Hey, AO. Happy 2020. Hi, everyone. Trying not to talk with my mouth full. How's everyone doing? AO, it's not going to be that long. I have a date, and before that, I have to take the dog for a WALK. But figured we could hang out for a little while. I actually wanted to film today, but the construction continues. Let me explain to you guys why this is taking several years, as well as several years off of my lifespan. I live in a slum, and the building receives some 35 to 38 citations from some city inspectors about things being in disrepair and not up to code. There was a hearing about these repairs this past Monday, which tenants were invited to attend. When you know it, I went. I made the time. But because the slumlords had a certain date by which they were supposed to fulfill all of these needed repairs, they've been hustling to try to get them done over the past couple of weeks, which is why it's been really, really difficult for me to film, because they're basically trying to put this building back together with spit and scotch tape so that they don't get more citations from the city. So that affects me because I have to record audio to make YouTube videos, and it's incredibly difficult. So I figured, let me at least go on live. Hopefully I can film tomorrow, because I have a video I want to do for my channel here, as well as one or two that I want to do for my Patreon for my Ride or Dies here, because they get exclusive videos. So I'm hoping to be able to film a few videos tomorrow. But if those guys are back again, I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's the weekend. They'll show up on Saturdays. They've even shown up on Sundays. It's like completely unpredictable. The slumlords never give us a heads up. Well, I'll say they give us a heads up 3% of the time if there's going to be people here doing repairs. Ugh, my life. Anyway, no, these are not passion twists, AO. Never again. These are just Senegalese twists with some regular knekalon hair. That's it. Hey, Gabrielle. Hey, Shayandra. Thank you, Ania. Hey, everybody. How many people are here right now? 217. My goodness. Hi, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. Oh, thank you, Val. Yeah, you know, this hair, it's not the vision. I did it myself. Last year, I pretty much exclusively was going to get my hair braided by professionals because I just could not be asked. Trying to save money, trying to be more frugal. Did these myself, but because I did them more on the large side, I'd say I probably have less than 50 twists on my head. It's giving me a very like ex-Tina circa dirty kind of vibe with like very chunky blonde, very chunky, my natural dark hair in there. So yeah. That wasn't the vision. I feel like it would have been more blended with smaller twists, but ain't nobody got time for that. So maybe next time. Thank you, Princess Leia. Yeah, this is that same sweater I showed you guys. I don't remember what video it was, but I've worn this in a video before. I also linked it because I knew there were going to be comments. But if anyone is interested, it is still available in this color, I think in the first link I put. But because it's getting old, it's not available in this color in all of the links that I put. Let me see. Girl, femme futile. I mean, that's really interesting, the whole Meghan Markle Harry thing. I don't really know what to make of it just yet, because I feel like, as far as I know, I haven't done a ton of reading about that, and I don't pay too much attention to the royals because I don't give a shit. But it's quite the move. It's quite a statement. I feel like this is potentially unprecedented. So I'm curious to see what happens, that they are basically publicly divesting themselves from being royals. And I'm not really sure to what end that is, like what they stand to gain to be independently wealthy. Like, I mean, for them to claim that they're going to pursue being independently wealthy is a lot like Kylie Jenner saying she's a self-made billionaire. Not accurate, but I don't know. Yes, we are Legion. You're actually, and just mentioning that Jenner child, I may as well briefly touch on the thumbnail of this live. I didn't really have any particular agenda in mind other than I wanted to see you guys. I've been wanting to film, but I've also been unable to film, not just because of construction, but because of like my head not being in the right space. I think I'll talk about that more later, but it's just been really, I've had a lot of performance anxiety, I guess, so to speak, around making content lately because things are different when people actually watch your videos. And I think it's been creating a lot of stress, second guessing myself, doubt, all that kind of stuff. Because the past 6 months or so of last year, when I was just like, fuck it, no one's watching these videos, I'm going to make my videos as if no one's watching them because no one is. When people did start watching, it made me feel a weird pressure on myself as time has gone on. And since the views are still like, I was like, oh, these views will taper off and things will go back to normal, and then they haven't. So it's been making me feel a bit more anxious about every move I make, every choice I make. But I'll talk more about that some other time, or maybe even later today, depending on how much time we have. But I want to briefly talk about this Kardashian woman who I go out of my way to avoid keeping up with the Kardashians. I've never seen that show. I don't read about them. And yet I am always appraised of their fuckery. Always. It doesn't matter what I do. And it goes back to what I was saying about some other internet idiots last year. It's because we continue to make stupid people famous. I don't know why we are rewarding imbeciles, but here we are. The most recent thing was this issue with Kim Kardashian. I heard about this through As Told by Kenya. You guys know I love her. She did a video about Kim Kardashian doing some magazine cover in blackface. And I said, huh? Even though I shouldn't have been surprised at all, because quite frankly, the Kardashian clan they are, by my estimation, the originators and the perpetuators of the whole blackfishing situation / problem. This is an issue because of the Kardashians and their presence and prevalence on social media. That is why blackfishing is a thing, okay? That's my opinion anyway. But now that I've gone and actually like Googled the images in question, I don't agree that it's blackface. I think that's a stretch. And in fact, I think that sort of inflammatory complaint is exactly what they want. Oh, thank you, Maria. Oh, good to see you. Hey, Isabel. The Kardashians, their entire business model is based on provoking Black women. It's based on making us angry. It's based on upsetting us. It's also based on wearing our aesthetics, the traditionally or stereotypically, in many ways, things that you would associate with Black women, that aesthetic, as a costume. Like, they've had surgeries to do this. They've shacked up with Black men, and they're having all of these biracial babies so that they can continue to insert themselves into our culture and profit from it. And the marketing to continue doing that is to enrage us. I'm not falling for it. I'm not doing it. I think it's a pretty big stretch to call that blackface. I mean, I don't look at that picture and think that that's a Black woman. Even if you hadn't told me, I mean, I didn't think it looked like Kim Kardashian. I don't think she doesn't look like herself. She looks like, I don't know, like Sofia Vergara or somebody. Like, I wouldn't know who it was. I'll say that. I didn't know it was Kim Kardashian. And I frankly don't care. I don't care what she does. But I don't think it's blackface. I feel like that's a stretch. And again, I wish that we would stop falling for it. Those of us who are not actually fans of theirs, those of them who do not enjoy seeing them continue to succeed and expand their wealth and expand their influence and expand their reach, I wish we would stop falling for it by promoting them whenever they do these stunts, because that's all they are. They're just stunts to essentially, I mean, it goes back to the same thing with Gucci when they had that balaclava that looked like a freaking Sambo blackface thing last year. How many black people do I still see wearing Gucci now? I have one Gucci item in my wardrobe, which I had prior to that entire snafu, but I can guarantee you that's going to be the last Gucci item in my wardrobe. That's it. I'm not gonna not like keep my item out of spite. I mean, maybe I'll sell it. I don't know, but it's just some loafers. So I feel like that's like not even the best thing to sell anyway. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to be complaining about Gucci every time someone of color wears Gucci, but they're also not going to get my coin. Like they get dust. They don't get my attention. They don't get my platform. That's it. And I realize that it is hypocritical of me to be saying this in a YouTube video, because that's exactly what I'm doing. By even discussing this, I'm giving them my platform. But I really didn't even want to talk about it at all, but it's just kind of been wearing on me that this conversation is continuing. Like these photos came out toward the end of last year. I don't even think it was 2020 yet. I think it was still 2019, and people are still talking about Kim Kardashian and blackface. I'm like, that's not even what it is. It's just like it's a shade of foundation that's not her color. I'll give you that. But it's not, in my opinion, I don't think it's blackface. It's just trying to push our buttons enough. And I think Black women complaining that this is blackface, that's exacerbating the problem. That's not calling her out. That's not doing anything beneficial, because it's not that, in my opinion. It's just, she wants you to get angry. And then if you take your response too far, you're just promoting her anyway. I always say we cannot control how we react, but we can control how we respond. I'll try to catch up on the chat a little bit. KO, you're saying they bought those black features. Exactly. But like a doctor gave them those. They weren't born with those ridiculously disproportionate. Shorty said it's all hers while her thighs don't match. I think they're still trying to claim that Kim's ass is real to this day. Yeah, ecstasy. I mean, June Ambrose, who's a super famous stylist, I love her. And I follow her on Instagram, and I see her flaunting Gucci stuff all the time. And I'm just like, June, if anything, like with someone with your influence and platform, and however many other designers there are who didn't do what Gucci did, I wish you wouldn't do this. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to like unfollow her, because like that's not going to change anything. I just wish that she would use her platform to not continue to promote Gucci. I see so many other Black influencers in the fashion space who have continued to, like, do y'all have the memories of Goldfish or nah? Like, remember the blackface balaclava? That was messed up. Thank you, Netta. Thank you so much. Yeah, Maria, I agree. They are going out of their way to look racially ambiguous. And that is why I say that the Kardashians are largely responsible for this this age of blackfishing. The fact that looking racially ambiguous is a trend, I believe the Kardashians are largely responsible for popularizing that, because that's their entire brand, is looking racially ambiguous when it's just white women. Kanye Kardashian doesn't care. Kanye Kardashian needs like significant mental intervention. Oh, hey, BB. I remember that whole thing going down with No Name, and I am conflicted about that. I think, unfortunately, I'm not super familiar with her music, so I need to actually get more acquainted with her. But I do understand that perspective. Like, I wouldn't be cool with me being on stage and having white audience members. I mean, I've been over this. I've been over how I feel about people who are not Black saying the N-word. So like I've been pretty unequivocal about that. In terms of essentially torpedoing your entire career to do a book club instead, doesn't seem the most lucrative to me. I don't think that's also necessarily going to solve the problem. Like that's not going to fix it. It does mean that you don't have to participate in it by no longer doing shows and allowing audiences to literally shout the N-word back at you. But unfortunately, the people who were probably doing that in the first place are not receptive to her feelings and to Black people's feelings on this matter in the first place, because that's why they thought it was appropriate to be yelling the N-word, even if they were just singing along with the song. Like it's the same old tired ass argument of willful ignorance. It's like, well, I was just singing the song. You knew you were wrong. You don't care. There's a difference. It's not that you didn't know, it's that you didn't care. We're not stupid. Yeah, Audra at home, that's exactly it. It's the same old thing time and time again. It's like, I've even seen t-shirts like on Instagram being marketed to me because they clearly know what I'm about at this point. So they know to market this kind of stuff to me. But, they want our rhythm, but not our blues, that kind of thing. It is great. It's edgy. It's beautiful to be a Black woman without actually being a Black woman. Like if you can do all the things that are associated with being a Black woman without actually being a Black woman, you're probably going to make a lot of money. Why is Pewds here? Yeah, I saw like someone's like message was blocked. It's obviously not the PewDiePie. Yeah, Gabrielle. Not really him, y'all. Yeah. You're right, Kenya Yap. That's the thing. Like, it's just the people who are just like, well, I was just singing a song. The Gina Rodriguez's of the world. It's just their excuse. It's their hack, their workaround to be like, oh, finally, I get to say this forbidden word. The fact that we don't want them to say it is what makes it so enticing. And then, there are some Black people who don't care, which further confounds the ability to actually like draw a line in the sand about this. I had some dipshit in my comments under my Gina Rodriguez video who kept saying freedom of speech, freedom of speech. It was a Black man or a boy. I don't know. He was a dumbass either way. Freedom of speech, freedom of speech. To go back to, who was just saying this? Was it Tiana Taylor? No, I think it was Ari Lennox. She's like, but what are you using your freedom? Like, this is the speech that you choose to use when you have that freedom? I mean, just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean that you are shilling and a good person and everyone thinks it's cool that you use it to say hateful things or to try to be an edgelord and inflammatory. It's not. It's not cute. It's not edgy. It's not fresh. If that's what you choose to do with your freedom of speech, I mean, I suppose that's your right, but no one, and I mean no one, is looking at you as a beacon of wisdom. Yeah, me Shannon, why is that your speech? I thought that was so spot on when Ari said that. Femme futile, I mean, that is a great analogy. It's like farting in a crowd. You just know it's bad, but you need an excuse to do it. Yep, completely agree. Right, Ramenzilla. I mean, it's your freedom to say stupid shit, and it's my freedom to call you a moron. I mean, that's it. And if that's your only argument, like anytime someone gives you a well thought out reason argument as to why maybe even though we do have freedom of speech, maybe you should reconsider using your speech to say these kinds of things, and then your only retort is freedom of speech. This conversation's going nowhere. Like, this is the kind of idiocy we're dealing with. Um, anyway, so that's how I feel about the blackface thing. I feel like that was an overreaction, in my opinion, to the images I saw, at least the one that I put in the thumbnail of this live. Like, it's not that serious. And I do my best not to give these people my energy, my precious energy, and my time. And I'm really hoping that the more I beat this drum, the less attention we will give them. Because this is why these people are billionaires in the first place. Let's stop rewarding people who are trying to anger us. Don't give them that. That's exactly right, S. Coyley, because people want to say freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech when people are using the N-word without the hard R, as if that matters, or, well, it's different when they're just singing a song. Not the point, because if it were some other ethnic slur, if it were a slur against Asian people or Hispanic people, people would be canceled for real. It goes back to what I'm saying about the Kardashians as well. The reason that they keep provoking and trying to offend and mock and basically costume themselves as Black women is no one cares about Black women, and they've been able to get away with it for over a decade. It is their entire business model to continue to profit off of a group that is not protected because no one gives a fuck. The only people who get upset are the Black women, and no one listens to us. That's been made very clear, that people just don't listen to Black women. I mean, if we had some rando on Twitter comparing Black women to dogs, saying they look like Rottweilers or whatever the hell that was. See, I always hear everything about Twitter fourth hand because I'm not on there. This is exactly why, by the way. This is why I'm not on Twitter, because I don't want that in my space. I'm protecting my joy. I'm protecting my peace. Cancel Twitter. Because if anyone is one of the most consistent groups to disparage, humiliate, belittle Black women are Black men. It happens all the time. In fact, we probably get it the worst from Black men because they feel like they're allowed to. Thank you, Shayandra. Late comment here. Had a guy debate that since Kim K and her agent like are you kidding me? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I bet it was a Black man saying that as well. Sorry, guys. There go my phone. This is what I'm talking about. Because, I mean, there's Black men defending idiots like Yes Jules about saying the N-word in her raps. Like, we have a white girl straight up saying the N-word because she's a rapper. And then we have Black men defending her. When are Black men going to start defending Black women? I'd like to know. Anyone? No? Cool. Got it. Got it. Anyway, I refuse to devote my energy to this this cycle because it's lather, rinse, repeat. But at the beginning of the year, I just thought it was saying one more time, how about we stop giving this our attention? That'd be tight. Yeah, Alexis, Black men, I mean, not all. There are plenty of Black men who do love, support, uplift Black women. But based on what I see when I look around in the world, it's like 50%. Like, it can go either way. I have a tea talk cooking, but I have to kind of finish getting my thoughts percolating. But I want to do a talk about just how complicated it is dating as a Black woman, like a millennial aged Black woman, because I do date interracially, but my preference is to date Black men because of the shared experience of being Black in America. I've said that many times. However, one of the main complications of that is every time I look at a Black man, I'm just like, is he into white women? Does he even like Black women? Is he into Latina women? Does he even like black women? And I guarantee you, more than 50% of the time, you know how they have gaydar? You know, people say they have gaydar. I have like white woman dar, because I can look at a black man and be like, he's in a white woman. And 9 times out of 9, I am correct. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Anyway, I got to finish that tea talk, like just percolating in my brain, because it's a very complex issue. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on it, because I've been, you know, dating quite a lot. I kind of took a good chunk of last year off. I took myself off the market, but I've been dating again lately, and it's a pretty big waste of time. Let me put it that way. And I got another date tonight, so God help me. White woman dar. You can just tell, you know? Oh, hey, Faith. Yeah, exactly, Alexis. Exactly. And then this is also like part of this tea talk that's still cooking. Like, even when I do venture out and date other races, I'm just like, okay, well, am I being fetishized by this guy? Because like, if he's dating me, am I his first black woman? Oh my God, you guys. I was out at a bar about a week ago. I was out dancing. My friends were acting like old people, so they flaked on me, and I went out by myself, because that's the kind of person I am. I don't give a fuck. If I feel like I want to dance, I'm going. So I'm out at this bar. I like going out by myself as well, because I got street smarts, so I know how to take care of myself, and I'm not really too worried about like being abducted and stuff, because I know how to look after myself. Thank you, Allie. Let me read this real quick. Same black men who support the white women in their sins are the same one who persecutes black women. I date a white man who stands up for me more than any black man in my life, 3 brothers included. That's sad. That's sad that we have white men who are more supportive potentially than our own men in our own community. Again, it's not all, you know, it's definitely not all, but it is far too frequent. It's far too common. I don't understand it. I think, you know, just the conditioning and internalized racism, things like that, they run so deep, it's insane. Anyway, I'm at this bar and I'm dancing and I meet some weirdos. And one of the guys, he pulls me aside and I'm like, here we go. And he's like, hey, I just have to tell you, you're extremely gorgeous. I'm like, bitch, I know it. And he's just like, yeah, like, can I tell you a secret? And he goes, oh, no. And he's like, can I tell you a secret? I was just like, I feel like you're going to tell me anyway. Like, does my consent matter? And he leans and he goes, I just had sex with a black woman for the first time 2 nights ago. Mind you, I literally just met this guy. I had no exchanges with him prior. I'd been talking with his friends a little bit, had not spoken to him at all. He doesn't know me from Adam. He feels it's appropriate to share this secret with me. This is why I walk around constantly like I am probably being fetishized. Like every time I go on a date outside of my race, I'm just like, oh God. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. That's very generous, and I appreciate that. And I mean, I don't know what he expected me to say to that. Like, what is going on in your brain that you think that that's something that I want to hear? Am I supposed to be like, thank you? Like, what? And I'm like, how did that go for you? It's just like, it was amazing. I was just like, I gotta go. And I bounced because I was just like, I'm not going to entertain this. But yeah, like this is the kind of shit that is, I mean, that's confirmation bias. That's the kind of shit that is confirming my fears every time I date interracially. It's just some guy who's fetishizing me, who has a bucket list, who's just like, have sex with beautiful black women. Check. It's weird. It's weird. Alexis, first of all, can we talk about this hair? Yeah, I did my own twist. I haven't done my own like long-term protective style in a while, but I was trying to say some Muncie. Yeah, Anna, that's what's so strange to me. It's like black women are so overly sexualized, and yet the stereotype is that we're masculine and mammies and like, I guess it goes back to what I was talking about in one of my other recent tea talks about how like there's these two extremes on both ends of the spectrum, and you're expected to fit into one or the other. But even when you do, even if you do fall into that hyper feminine, hyper sexualized va va voom vixen, there's still something dehumanized about you that doesn't happen if your skin were a different color as a Black woman. It's really weird. He was hoping I would volunteer to be the second. You must not know about me. Like, I honestly am still trying to understand, how dumb are you to think that that's something that you should say to a stranger, and be of all to think that it's something that I would be like, oh, wow, cool story, bro. Sorry, I'm trying to unblock some comments here. Paris, why do people think it's okay to talk about random shit related to Blackness when they see a Black person? Thank you. Like, it wouldn't even occur to me. And even not just sexual shit. Like, it wouldn't occur to me to walk up to a white person and just touch their hair without even saying a word. Do you know how many times that's happened to me in my life? A million. No, I have not read Stamped from the Beginning, Habib. What is that? The man was probably a virgin a year before. The shade. All right, I'm going to eat this piece of pineapple. Give me a moment. Faith, my best friend is gay. And I have quite a few other gay friends. And I was having this conversation with someone recently. I think it was actually on one of our Patreon lives, where I'm pretty sure it was, where I was just talking about how I always feel much more comfortable, even though like I'm a straight cis woman. Oh my God, Ramen Zilla, how generous. Right. Right. I think this man probably thought that he is like enlightened because he had sex with a Black woman. Like, this is how some people think. I've said this before too, where people will be like, I'm not racist, I have Black friends. I'm not racist, I fuck Black women. That's a fetish. The Kardashians and their Black men, that's a fetish. That's not a preference, it's a fetish. And you can have Black kids and be racist. So that's the that on that. You're not woke, you're not evolved, you're not enlightened. You're a pervert, honestly. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Faith, I feel like when I went to if you guys follow me on Instagram, and I know a lot of you do not, but I went to Amsterdam last year in February, almost a year ago, for my birthday trip. My birthday's coming up. And funny enough, my birthday it's Groundhog Day. It's February 2nd. So this year, my birthday is 02/02/2020. It's a numerical palindrome. My birthday is the same backwards as it is forwards this year. So I feel like I got to do it big. I got to do something cool. Anyway, I was in Amsterdam for my birthday last year, and I went to my first drag ball. And I don't think I have ever felt more like amongst my people in my life. Except when I'm just with my very close friends, of course, but like being in a public space rather than just at some bar or whatever. And I think what it is I've always been odd. I've always been weird. I've always been different, even though, like on paper, I'm a normal person. There's just something where I just have never really fit in. And I think when you grow up LGBTQ, it's a very similar experience of never feeling like you quite fit in, just knowing you're different somehow. And when I am in that community and in those spaces, I feel like we just understand each other from having dealt with that our entire lives. So that's why I think I feel so much more comfortable like in gay spaces and gay bars and things like that, because I feel like I don't want to take up space in a community that isn't mine. Like they should be able to have their community, just like, Black women need to commune with each other, same type of thing. But that feeling of not belonging, I think, unites us in a weird way. And I think that's why I really enjoy it, because granted, I get groped at gay bars too, but it's a lot more safe and comfortable for me than a lot of other spaces out in the world. Oh, thank you, Jillian. Yeah, I'm an Aquarius elm. That's why everyone's at arm's length. I'm a textbook Aquarius. Oh, Faith, what's your sign? You love some Aquarians? I feel like Aquarius isn't really one of the signs that people like talk about. Like people always talk about like Geminis and Leos and Scorpios. Like those are the ones that I feel like for the most part, almost and anyone who even doesn't know that much about astrology has kind of a sense of what they're like. But Aquarians, I feel like people don't really know what we are. Oh, thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some more Patreon only lives throughout the rest of the month. So I'll see you there, hopefully. Jewel, that's very true about me. I do have a mixed bag of eclectic friends. The one thing they all have in common is that they have good hearts. Jeannie, of course I came in at the I prefer gay club section. C'est moi aussi? Yeah, same, same, same. Yeah, glamorous C. I know you're talking to Audra, but dating, it's like a part-time job. That's why I often, I mean, this sounds shady. Oh, Eagles lover, or Faith. I don't know why I'm calling you by your screen name. Faith, Celine, your birthday is the day after me. I'm the second. Almost birthday twins. My best friend Rick is a Leo. He is August 2nd, so we are exactly 6 months apart. And I feel like that's significant. Like just the way that we are the same and that we are different. It's so interesting. It really is a yin and yang kind of thing. It fascinates me. Oh, and Ania, Jashelle, you're a Capricorn, which means your birthday's around now, right? Because Capricorn I know is right before Aquarius. I think Aquarians are possibly very misunderstood because I understand other Aquarians perfectly. And what we all know is that no one understands us. We're hard to know. We're very hard to know. We're, at least like from what I've read and what I feel to be true about me, very loyal, but I also need my space. I need alone time every single day. I need time where I don't have to speak and where I don't have to be spoken to. And there is something very, to a certain extent, I always have some walls up. Like it is potentially impossible to ever fully know me. I'm working on that. I'm at one of my goals slash tasks for this year is to start therapy because I think everyone can probably benefit from therapy. And I was talking about this with my Patreon fam the other day as well. So that's a goal for me this year is to try to start working on that because that's something that I think is holding me back in my relationships, not just romantically, but with my friends even. But anyway. Oh, Gabrielle, you're an Aquarius too? Ooh. Allie, you're February 9th. Yeah, yeah. Ramenzilla, what do I think about Aries? My brother is an Aries and my grandmother is an Aries. Not for me. Not for me. That's shady, I know, but do not get along. No, ma'am. Bathsheba Beautiful. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I don't generally get lonely, but I've been feeling a little bit lonely lately, which is really uncharacteristic. Like I've been feeling lonely, which I think is partly why I decided to kind of put myself back on the market and start dating again. And it's been a gigantic waste of time. I don't know if partnering is even for me long term because I feel like I'm always going to want my space. I'm always going to want my freedom. I am a free spirit. And the idea of long-term staying together forever out of some sort of preconceived notion of what a relationship is supposed to look like has never sat well with me. I think that so much of that is based on people's egos rather than actual mutual love and admiration. If that happens, tight. Love it. Love that for me. But I just don't know if I'm made that way. And I tend to enjoy just shorter term relationships because I've had long term relationships, my longest being 6 years. And what I've learned about relationships from being in them is that I don't like them. Thank you, Brienne. We're birthday twins. You know, our girl Kay Vinyl is our birthday twin too. I don't know if she's here right now, but Kay Vinyl, who is in she's in our Patreon fam as well as our YouTube family, obviously. And she's also February 2nd. Groundhog babies. Yeah, Elle, maybe I will find another free spirit. It's frustrating because I actually went on a couple dates. I've been hanging out with one guy. We started hanging out about a month ago. And there's a connection, like it's good. Problem is, we met on an app called Hinge. For those of you who are unfamiliar, on this app, you're able to put in your bio along with like things like your sex and your gender or whatever, or your sex and your gender, your sex and your age and your location, whether you want kids or not. And I have it clear as day, does not want kids in my thing. So I noticed him getting very aloof all of a sudden, which that's usually my job as an Aquarius. My Aquarians will know this. We are aloof as fuck. And I was just like, if I think this guy's being aloof all of a sudden after things were going well, something's up. So I confronted him, and it turned out that he wants kids. And I'm like, oh, I got it. So you've been wasting my time from the jump. So like that's also just been sticking in my craw the past week or so, because I finally found somewhere I was just like, there could be something here. Like, let's continue to see each other, that sort of thing. And then he's freaking out because we like each other, but he wants children and I don't. And I'm unmoving on that. Like, that's a deal breaker. And I'm like, that was in my bio. Like, why did you even like me first when you saw that? Annoying. Oh, Irene, you're a Pisces. I think that's after Aquarius, isn't it? So you're probably like March-ish. That's right, IG Next Level Beauty. Aquarius, we fuck with you when we want to fuck with you, and when we don't, we do not. ABB, I am in LA. The Ash Boogie. We're so aloof. I can't help it. I can't help it. I try to be warmer. I like make efforts to not take forever to respond to people's texts, which is what I usually do. And to just be more warm because I'm not made that way. And I also come from a family. Thank you, Triumphant Tip. That's generous. I come from a family where my parents didn't like give us hugs and kisses growing up, like unaffectionate family. So that's another thing that I need to work on in therapy, but it's something that I've been working on my own. And you know who's helped me with that a lot is that little black dog that you can't really see. She's under the blanket over there. But Ray Ray's super affectionate, and it's taught me like the importance of touch, physical affection, that sort of thing. It's really been a good thing for me, but I'm not made that way. Sometimes I feel like an automaton, like show him affection. There. You know? Oh, caffeine and sarcasm, you're a Capricorn. Okay. Yeah, Elle, you might be right. I mean, I don't think that this guy is like he doesn't give me fuckboy vibes at all. I'm just really annoyed that he wasted my time because it's just like, well, now I actually like you and this is going nowhere because you want a family and I don't. I don't want the family I already have. God, the shade. Sorry. Lady Leo, you now you know why you were drawn to me. Yeah, like my best friend's a Leo, so maybe Leos and Aquarians are like simpatico in a weird way. March 11th, Irene. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Irene's birthday, March 11th. I don't know my rising moon signs, honestly. Ray Ray Faith says, hey, smooches. Gabrielle, the sad thing is I haven't even had like any alcohol. I think I'm in a emotional / mental transition, and I'm just speaking freely because I feel comfortable with you guys. Oh, Gabrielle, your bestie's a Leo too? How funny. Oh no, the morose ghost, an Aquarian broke your heart. You know what? I worry that I've broken my fair number of hearts in my years. Yeah. I don't, yeah. We're hard to know. We're hard to know. I think there's something to that, Grace, because I think because as I said, my best friend is literally exactly 6 months apart to the day. He's August 2nd, I'm February 2nd. And we are bonded for life. Like, even when we don't talk for a long time because he lives in San Francisco and he's actually about to move to Amsterdam, we don't, sometimes we won't talk for months just because we're busy or whatever. Well, usually him. I do tend to make more of an effort than he does. But as soon as we're back together, it's like we pick up exactly where we left off. We get along and we need each other. You know, I think there's a real, I need my friends. My friends are really important to me. Oh, February 8th, Tiff. Free spirited deep thinkers. Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah, I think cancers are really just sensitive. I think I got an ex who's a cancer. Um, Ended poorly, but that I remember him telling me that. Hi, Penelope. Femme Futile, one of my closest friends in the world, is a Virgo as well. She's actually birthday twins with Beyonce. Linda, I don't like the dating app, but I also don't have the energy or time to be going out every single weekend. But it's been largely a waste of my time, to be honest with you. Just a lot of crazies, a lot of conversations that go nowhere because going back to being aloof, I really hate text messaging or just chat messaging in the app. So I'm like, listen, if you don't seem like you're a murderer, can we just meet for a drink and see if there's anything here? Like, I don't have time to be fucking, I don't want a pen pal, you know? And a lot of these guys seem to just want to text forever. And I'm not interested in that. Cancer men are gross. I cannot stand my ex who is a cancer. Like, if he were on fire, I wouldn't spit on him. Yeah, I mean, never again, Jasmine. I hate to say, but because everyone gets should be able to be their own person, but based on my experience with a cancer man, never again. Ayo, would I go speed dating? I honestly feel like I would probably do pretty well at speed dating because I know immediately if I'm willing to have sex with you. Like, I can look at you and be like, no, right away. Thoughts about the Briogeo collab? Oh, with Kathleen Lights? Somebody sent me that on Instagram the other day. I mean, I think I just sent back the like closed eyes, flat mouth emoji. Like, okay, whatever. As usual, no consequences for people who say and do questionable things, as long as it's directed at Black people. If it had been a racial slur that she had uttered against some other group, she would not be thriving in the way she is. And considering that I believe Briogeo is Black owned, I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, I mean, I don't get it. Obviously, I'm not going to support it. Whoa, this is a lot of roses and hearts. Hi, Tanya. Thank you, Natural Advice, as I drip pineapple juice on my leg. Okay. Jermibash. I don't know how to pronounce that. No, I don't like cancers. I was pretty unequivocal that one and done with cancers. Yeah, Sarah, it's just from Trader Joe's. It's pretty good though. Pretty sweet because I don't even think this is like in season. This is not pineapple season, but it's pretty good. Coconut juice. K Vinyl. I don't know if you were here before, but we have another birthday twin in the chat. Another groundhog baby. Pisces men are grandpas? Well, we might get along well then. Have I ever dated a Pisces? I don't think I have. I don't think. I don't know. I mean, I probably have because as I said, I do mostly like shorter relationships these days. Like I did longer ones when I was young, but I don't concern myself with looking like for a forever relationship. I will date you as long as we are enjoying our time together. If that's 2 weeks, if that's 2 years, if that's 2 decades, I don't really concern myself with trying to make something last forever when clearly maybe it shouldn't. Yes, Isabel, I have seen Parasite. Thank you, El My Bell. Where does one go to have a birth chart done? It sounds expensive. But Isabel, yeah, I saw Parasite actually on a date last week. I really liked it, but I don't think it lived up to the hype for me. That's one reason I really don't like hype, and I try to avoid reviews and whatnot before I see a movie because I want to go in as clean as I can. So I hadn't watched any trailers, but it had been heavily hyped to me just from other people I knew who had seen it. I liked it. I really love seeing foreign films because when cultures are so different, just the very approach. Thank you, Netta. What is my opinion on Scorpio people? My 6-year ex was a Scorpio. So that he does not strike me as a Scorpio though. Like he doesn't, one of my best friends is a Scorpio. My friend Alexandra, her birthday is like 4 days after my ex's, and they're completely different people. I feel like she's a more typical Scorpio and I get along with her great. Whereas he is not what I would consider like what you read Scorpios to be like. So I have a generally positive feeling of Scorpios because one of my favorite people in my entire life is a Scorpio. Forgot what I was going to say. Parasite. I love seeing foreign films because it's just like different cultures have completely different approaches and thoughts on storytelling, story structure, all that. So I've never seen any movie like that. And that's the kind of movies I love to see. I love movies that make me think about filmmaking differently and storytelling differently. And Parasite absolutely did that. Thank you, Siobhan. Virgo here, September. Oh, another Beyonce birthday twin. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I think that's something that I have in common with my best friend who's a Virgo, my friend Anne, because she definitely needs her own space as well. And she's talked about how like she can often be, particularly when she was early on in her relationship that she's in now, and they're like 5 years in now. And now he's like also one of my best friends. Like the three of us roll deep because since my best friend lives in SF, I tend to not see him very much, but I am often with my Virgo best friend, her boyfriend, who is almost my birthday twin. He's February 4th, and we all get along great. So I think Virgos and Aquarians are good together too. Because there's that weird like understanding of aloofness in a weird way where it's like, it doesn't mean that I don't care about you. It just means that I am in my own head. Dark triad kind. I don't even know what that means, Christy. I don't really know too much about the traits of Sages novelist Deanne. I'm not really sure what that. Oh, this is going fast again. Um, Ambular, same, same. I guess like you could say I'm an extroverted introvert. I need my space, I need my peace, I need my quiet, I need my alone time. But when I'm around people, when I can actually like psych myself up, because sometimes I do have to pep talk myself to even be able to like go to events and go to parties and things, because sometimes I will feel this inexplicable dread. When I am out though in those situations, like I'm the life of the party, I'm having a great time, I'm laughing, I'm dancing, like excuse me, pineapples repeating on me. Uh, so yeah, both things are true. Oh God, my hinge just went off. Someone's messaging me. Probably the guy I'm going out with tonight, actually. Yeah, he's confirming. Um, I didn't hear about Beyonce liking Kylie's post and they were moving it. Like, this is how much I don't even get involved with the fuck shit of social media. Like, this is so high school. Uh, oh, even other Aquarius. Team Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Oh my goodness. S. Coily. I can imagine two Scorpios. That's a lot of fire. I don't know if you guys are a fire sign, but I just think of Scorpios as like very passionate, you know? Seems like a lot. Scara, I'm an Aquarius. Yeah, yeah, Ayo. I don't know if I mean I don't want to like diagnose myself as like having, depression or social anxiety, but I definitely feel like after reading about those types of things, I probably have some of the symptoms and traits. But I always have fun when I am out and with friends and things. It's draining. So the next day I need to be alone and I'm gonna draw the blinds. Oh, that's cool, flower tress. Yeah, or flow tress, flower tress. I don't know. Yeah, I think foreign films. I know. I overheard someone say maybe I can't remember who it was, but someone was talking about how the director of Parasite was saying that if more people were willing to watch movies with subtitles, a whole new world would open up to them, something to that effect. And I'm just sitting over here like, who's not willing to watch movies with subtitles? I guess I'm in such a bubble growing up in New York and now living in LA. If a movie has subtitles, I'm probably more interested because I know it's more likely going to be unlike anything else at that theater. I've never been dissuaded from watching something because it has subtitles. Anyone who's just like, oh, I don't want to read. It's like, grow the fuck up. Cancer, stop disliking the video. It's not personal. Girl, it's all engagement. Haters literally make me strong. Yeah, Faith. Some of the social media is too much. I mean, I wonder if someone from Beyonce's team like liked that Kylie post and then Beyonce is just like, why is this why am I liking who did that? Remove that. You know what I mean? Because I think Beyonce has made it pretty clear that she does not want to associate with that family in any way. Really, Alexis? Yeah, I mean, I guess that probably is the norm, but that's really obnoxious to me. That's like people who say, "Oh, I don't like vegetables." Like, grow up. Oh my God, I've been on almost an hour, you guys. I should let you guys go, especially since I still have to take her to the PARK and finish getting ready for this DATE. Lots of spelling going on right now. But this has been fun. This was really kind of unplanned and all over the place. But I love talking to you guys. I miss y'all. And I'm hoping that this construction ends soon so I can kind of get on a regular filming schedule so I can be uploading at least once a week. I mean, I like to do at least one video a week, but when I can film seems to be lining up with when they're literally jackhammering outside of my front door and it's just the noise is impossible. Anyway, good night, you guys. I love y'all. Happy 2020. My 2020, I will admit, has gotten off to a rough start emotionally. Just working through some things in my head and my heart. So it's really nice having you guys to just hang out with and kind of convene with. And I'm excited for this year. Even though it's a rough start, things can only get better from here. So let's see where we go. Happy 2020. Have a good Thursday night and an even better Friday. And Patreon fam, if you're in the room, I'm going to be doing a live in the next couple of days, so make sure you check your Patreon so that you don't miss it. I will put it up at least 24 hours in advance so that you know. All right. Bye, everyone, and good night.